Jessica never thought she'd be affected by a brain tumor, but today, she's ready for everything life has to offer. And it's all because at Broward Health, our neuroscience experts are always ready for anything tomorrow brings, ready to lead your treatment with intensity, ready with the right care right now. From spine injuries to neurosurgeries and beyond, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. Broward Health, well into your future. Learn more at browardhealth.org/neuro.
Welcome to 3 Yards Per Carry, a podcast covering the Miami Dolphins and the NFL. Now, here's your hosts, Chris, Alf, and Simon.
And we're on, and this is a special edition of 3 Yards Per Carry. These are words, and this is a sentence you will never hear, probably ever again. This is the Tyler Huntley episode. And I'm joined by, just spring it on the people there, Simon.
Oh, hello, everybody.
He's back.
You ruined the surprise. I was just going to take it. I was just going to, yeah, exactly. It's me.
Damn,
it's me.
You should have done.
That other voice you hear is Chris Kaufman.
Nobody gives a shit about that, though.
Yeah. Simon, welcome back. And you're coming back at the most opportune time. Things are just going splendid over here. Everything's great.
I was at Buenos Aires airport on Thursday night, and Chris, like the great friend that he is, was messaging me play by play so that I could keep up, because the Wi-Fi in the airport wasn't good enough to get a stream of the game up. And I was literally boarding the plane as I saw Adam Beasley tweet "Tua's hurt," and then you kind of try to hold yourself up from getting on the plane and hoping that they don't reverse out onto the runway before you kind of find out what it is. And yeah, so joyful time to be back.
Yes, everything's splendid.
Yeah, my play-by-play definitely dropped off because I just got completely hammered with various substances immediately.
Yeah, understandable. I never heard from Chris again until today. I thought he died, frankly.
Yeah. Well, this offseason, I kept saying, you know what, they should go get Tyler Huntley to be the backup, but mostly because I have zero faith in, at that time, Mike White or Skylar Thompson. They finally do it months later.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, out of desperation.
Yeah.
And, well, let's talk about Tyler Huntley in this first half. In the second half, obviously, we'll talk about the dynamic between him and Skylar Thompson. But your thoughts, Simon, on Tyler Huntley as a player? Because I look at him, and I was talking today. I was on our Discord, OnlyFans. And by the way, if you want to become a member, you go to discord.gg/OnlyFans. You become a member there for $3 a month. And I was saying, look, quarterbacks are like menus. Okay, Patrick Mahomes has like 30 items. You have a Michelin star chef serving you everything a la carte. Everything's fried. There's candy, ice cream, but there's a catch. All the food that you eat, none of it makes you fat, and it's all extremely healthy, right? I said Tua's is pretty good. It has about 20 items, except that the buffalo wings are laced with cyanide. I said Tyler Huntley has about 10 items, but they all taste pretty good. We're just limited in what we're going to be able to do with Tyler Huntley, but you can win games. Your thought, Simon, on Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, I would say that he's an upgrade both on Mike White previously, but also on Skylar Thompson. But what I would add is that, McDaniel said that the signing is not about Skylar Thompson, and we'll get to that, as you said, in the second half. But I think that what it does is that it opens up the playbook. It opens up opportunity. You have an extremely mobile quarterback in an RPO offense who's sort of, in a way, built for this offense, but also McDaniel is kind of built for a kid like this. I mean, he's never really had a mobile quarterback like this. And so much of what we do is off of RPO. It's spreading the field out. I mean, we saw it with Tua multiple times, but certainly even this season, we saw it multiple times where the middle linebacker clears out and there's huge gaps for him to run into, if he climbs the pocket. And I think you'll see that with Huntley. What I would caution is that I don't believe he will start particularly soon, particularly quickly. I think they're committed to Skylar Thompson, in part because he knows the offense. He understands the offense. Yes, Tyler Huntley, I think, will come in and will know some plays. And it wouldn't surprise me if there was a a small array of plays that he used even against Seattle at the weekend, just as a kind of a little taster and to mix things up with Mike McDonald's defense. But I would caution against him coming in and starting. I mean, people are asking on OnlyFins today, how soon, what week do you think he'll start? What game do you think he'll start? This offense is so precision based. It is so delicate on timing. The hundreds of hours, and Tua's talked about it, Mike McDaniel's talked about the hundreds of hours it takes to get that minute timing down. And we've talked about it on this show. If the timing is out, if a lineman is half a second slow, if a receiver is half a beat slow in terms of the motion, or, so it's going to take him some time to learn the intricacies and the nuance. But it's exciting, I think, in terms of, it gives this team an opportunity to stay in it. And I think you'll see some mixing up of schemes. Sometimes it'll be Skylar. I think for the most part it'll be Skylar until Tyler gets involved. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a few plays in the playbook where Tyler comes in and just does a couple of things. And the element of being able to run, to move the pocket, to stretch the game, I think will be really interesting. And it may just be that he comes in and he does screens and it's tunnels and it's pop passes, but also it's the ability to break, contain, and pick up yards with his feet, Chris.
Yeah, so I think that
by the way, before you say this, in case our listeners don't know, Tyler Huntley is 1 year younger than Skylar Thompson.
I think that the thing to note about Tyler Huntley, and I remember him coming out of Utah, and I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan back then, but he has had some success with the Baltimore Ravens. A couple things come to mind. One, keep in mind that Anthony Weaver was on the Baltimore Ravens, and though he coached the other side of the ball, and so he can't really speak in very nuanced ways about what Tyler Huntley will do to fit into this offense. I think what he can speak to is his locker room character, his work ethic, his general comportment, how he's going to fit with the team. All of those things are very important, particularly since I think that, I think Mike McDaniel has been sort of regalvanized toward the idea of getting coaches that fit, getting players that fit, everybody having the right character, the right, comportment. So I think that that's important. He's coming in to be a backup, as Mike McDaniel said, as Simon noted. Skylar Thompson, and that is a really important thing to keep in mind, I think, because in Mike McDaniel's eyes and in the team's eyes, if this all goes the way that they think it's going to go, then Tyler Huntley probably doesn't play unless it's for gimmick plays, as Simon has mentioned. They think that Skylar Thompson is the guy, and we will see. We will see if that's correct. I certainly, for our sakes, hope that Skylar Thompson is the guy. But Tyler Huntley, I think the book on him, if you watch him in the NFL, is going to be all about watching the deep ball. And this has nothing to do with his arm strength. This has everything to do with vision, timing, the way he sees it, the way he sees the defense. If you watch all his deep passes in the NFL thus far, and I have, what you notice really is a lot of defenders closing on the ball when he throws deep, which means that he's not quite seeing it well. He's not quite timing it well. And also just, there's not a ton of accuracy there on the deep pass. And why is that important for us is because if you allow defenses to essentially disrespect Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill on those deep passes, that's one of the things that Tua is so good at. And I know a lot of people are mistakenly said that he's not. But those people didn't watch him at Alabama. Those people don't really know what Tua's strengths are as far as his accuracy, timing, vision, and so on and so forth. If Tyler Huntley can't get defenses to respect that, those players, then you might as well not even have those players. You might as well not even have it for all the use that they're going to do you. And so that's the thing to really watch, because if he has the ability to hit those guys, and the one kind of the one thing that I'll say about the deep pass is when he has been at his best on the deep ball in the NFL, it has been, very quick, a very quick throw, very in rhythm, kind of the sort of thing that Tua has made such a specialty, throwing deep with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But the longer the clock goes, post snap, the worse it's going to get with Tyler Huntley that way. So that's the big thing that you're going to watch if he ever is forced to play, is seeing if he can continue that success deep to where that's one of the hallmarks of this Dolphins offense, with all the speed that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle have, is all of the space that is created by how much those defenses have to respect that. And if they stop having to respect that, then you're going to see things condense really quickly. You're going to see fewer of those big runs coming from Raheem Mostert, from Devon Achane, and you're going to see fewer big pass plays because things aren't shaking open the way that they should. And you don't want this offense to turn into a kind of a myopic offense under Tyler Huntley. So that's kind of that, to me. That's the book on him. As a passer, Simon has a great point talking about the RPOs and things like that he can run. There are definitely different things that he can run, even right away in this playbook. But to me, that will be the key.
All right, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Skylar Thompson. But first, let me tell you about a new sponsor to the show. They're going to be with us throughout the football season, and that's Underdog Fantasy. It's the greatest time of year, well, to some. Football is back, and it stays here until February. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. For example, touchdowns, passing yards, sacks, and more. Do what I do and make Mondays and Thursdays. Well, last Thursday night was not too exciting, but make them much more interesting. Underdog Fantasy has a great interface and simple ways to deposit and withdraw. Now, tonight is Atlanta. I got a Drake London play. Check it out. There's a line there for Drake London on Underdog Fantasy. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head on over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with the promo code 3YARDS. That's the number 3 yards. And Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code 3YARDS to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, 19 plus in Alabama, New England, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE NY or text HOPE NY to 467-369. And that's Underdog Fantasy. And now words from our other sponsors. Let me tell you about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. Football is on the way, so do as I do and make Monday and Thursday night football more interesting. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the promo code 3YARDS. That's the number 3 yards and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's the code 3YARDS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game.
Breathing deeply while listening to ocean waves can help reduce stress. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep solving. For more health solutions, go to floridablue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Are you a South Florida property owner with an insurance claim? Are you dealing with water, mold, or fire damage to your home or business? Are you having trouble locating a 5-star rated general contractor that is fully licensed, certified, and insured? If the answer is yes, then Water Cleanup of Florida is here for you 24 hours a day. With over 60 years of combined experience, Michael, Robert, Jorge, and their team is prepared to handle any size property damage disaster. When an unexpected damage occurs to your home or business, you need specialized, fast, and reliable services. Water Cleanup of Florida understands the impact and stress an unexpected disaster may cause. Their objective is to make the cleanup and insurance claim process painless and hassle-free. Water Cleanup of Florida is also a licensed general contractor, so they provide the A to Z service, one-stop shopping that busy homeowners and business owners require. Water Cleanup of Florida is now an authorized dealer of Eurocraft cabinets, so premier kitchen, bath, and laundry cabinetry, countertops, and other accessories are available for your viewing at their showroom in Boca Raton. Or, do you prefer to shop from your home or office? Then Water Cleanup will send you one of our design specialists to you with samples and products that fit your style and budget. Call Michael anytime on his personal cell phone if you have any questions at 954-579-0356. That's 954-579-0356. Or visit their website at wcufl.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And please check out their more than 80 5-star reviews on Google and Facebook. Water Cleanup of Florida. If you have the schmutz, they have the guts.
I'm Jalen Phillips, and you're listening to 3 Yards Per Carry.
All right, and we're back. Simon, they drafted Skylar Thompson. He's been here 3 years. I've seen every practice he's had in training camp. I haven't been there in the weight room or on the practice field when they're doing their installs or in their quarterback meetings, but I think I have a pretty good grasp of him as a player, as I've watched him in every single training camp practice for 3 years. I thought he was very good as a rookie. And sure enough, they give him opportunities to start over Teddy Bridgewater against the Vikings. Actually played pretty well in that first quarter until he himself got hurt. Started a playoff game. But the past 2 years, I just came away, and I'm not the only one, by the way, on this. Other opinion makers and media members, they remark the same things. I don't get it. I don't see it, but they like him. And, the proof is right there. They get rid of Mike White. He's starting against the Seahawks for sure. Seems to be a foregone conclusion. Like, he's the starter, and Tyler Huntley is the backup. What did they see in Skylar Thompson? What could they possibly be seeing? Because him, along with Lester Cotton, are the two guys that Mike McDaniel can come to my house, cook dinner for me, and give me a whole PowerPoint presentation on why those two guys are on the team, and I still would not understand. Your thoughts on Skylar Thompson? What do they see, Simon?
Thanks for that hand grenade. I mean, Lester Cotton is one we've discussed both privately on OnlyFins and on this podcast. None of us get. I think he's got a decent arm. He makes plays on the move. You saw that in college. He was able to do that with, fairly well in college at Kansas State. I think that, I thought he showed at times in games that he played. Was it the game against the Jets at the back end of the season a couple of years ago, the playoff game against Buffalo, that he read the field pretty well. He didn't take too many chances, but you just wonder that, is he going to make enough plays to win the game? Is he going to be able to move the sticks consistently? Is he going to be able to put the ball down the field? It's certainly not going to be the same offense, but I think some of the fundamentals are there. And I think what's the important thing is that he's been in the room. He's been around Darrell Bevel. He's been around Mike McDaniel. He's been around Tua. He's been around Dan Marino. He's been around Mike White. He knows the offense inside out. He knows the intricacies of it. He knows the infinitesimal timing that makes it work and makes it doesn't. And I think he'll be given every opportunity with a run-heavy offense. I would expect to see, if he's healthy, Jeff Wilson, if he's healthy, Raheem Mostert, if he's healthy, Devon Achane, if he's healthy, Jalen Wright. I would imagine they'll have all four backs plus Alec Ingold. And you might not see Robbie Chosen being brought up this week. You may see, them looking at a more run-heavy system, Chris. in terms of what he does, is he good enough? I don't know. We don't know. I think it's unlikely. I mean, if you were to say that Skylar Thompson is going to, let's say Tua is out for the season, is Skylar Thompson going to take us to the promised land? I think we all think that's probably very unlikely, that he's just not good enough. And it comes back to that question about there's not enough good quarterbacks in this league in terms of starters, let alone backups. You have to try and find the best backup. Have we got the best backup? I don't think we do have. Have we got a guy that would start on any team in the league? I can't see it. So, I think he takes us as far as his skills will go, but I don't think his skills are anything much more than a 3 out of 10.
I think that I think all excellent points. The dynamic that I'm most interested in seeing and play out here is has to do with whether it really has to do with Mike McDaniel and his play calling. Because I think that one of the things that Skylar Thompson does present, and I sort of alluded to this with Tyler Huntley and what he does not necessarily present, and then the concerns that you would have with him that way, is that Skylar Thompson can hit some pretty big time throws down the field. And he showed that right away in that, the preseason that he had, he was Mr. August in his rookie year. And the Dolphins admitted that they got calls about people wanting to trade for him, things like that. And so, and even in that rookie season, when he was forced into action during the regular season, he made some pretty big throws down the field. Obviously he didn't play last year, and kind of a little bit more sparing in the last couple of preseasons. But so I think that if he can shake loose, and he does have some legs under him, and he can shake loose and he can make some big time plays down the field, that could keep the defense, quite fearful about the speed of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And that allows you to not have to depend necessarily on Skylar Thompson being pinpoint accurate and having the sort of anticipation and timing that Tua Tagovailoa has, but the fact that you have these playmakers who can do things with the ball in their hands. Devon Achane, and you have the running game, and I know that Mike McDaniel will want to lean on those things in order to do some of the things that Tua is no longer there to do for the offense in terms of consistency, play to play, and so striking that balance will be really important. The thing that I fear about Skylar Thompson is really about how Mike McDaniel is going to call the games. Is he going to basically pretend that this is still the same offense with the same quarterback and ask Skylar Thompson to just go ahead and execute? And yes, even though he should be able to keep the threat of the deep ball and big plays down the field alive, he might not be able to execute the way that Tua Tagovailoa can. And so you could see a bunch of just bad plays and coming off the field on third down and things like that, trying to maintain this offense with somebody who, is basically just not Tua Tagovailoa. And that's the dynamic that's going to be very interesting to me to watch play out, to see which way it goes. And also the dynamic that is interesting to me about Tyler Huntley, because even though, I don't think that he can make the big time throws down the field that Skylar Thompson can, at least not with the same decision making and accuracy level that either Thompson or Tua Tagovailoa can. If Tyler Huntley is in the game, Mike McDaniel is calling a completely different offense.
Yeah,
and that intrigues me. That intrigues me. Like, what will if you force. What happens with Mike McDaniel, as we all consider him to be a very savvy offensive mind? What happens when you back him against a wall, and put him in desperation mode? What will he come up with? What sort of answers will he come up with to really reinvigorate and revamp an offense that has to be run under a completely different trigger style, trigger man style? And that's what intrigues me the most about Tyler Huntley. I didn't mean to, crap all over him in the first half of the show. I am actually intrigued with Tyler Huntley if he was to get the nod to start any of these games. But mostly it's because of Mike McDaniel. Mostly it's because I'm very interested in seeing how Mike McDaniel would have to just totally change gears. And what does he do? What does he do when he is a cornered animal? As a play caller, as an offensive schemer, design guy, and game plan coordinator. So we'll see how that plays out. But this could be rough going, or this could bump along. We don't really know the answer to that yet.
Yeah, and last thing before we call it until we're back on Thursday, where we will talk Seahawks, Dolphins. I think that this is a moment where we learn a lot more about Mike McDaniel than pretty much anybody else, even Skylar Thompson. The 1993 Dolphins, of course, Shula, had their quarterback go down with an Achilles injury, and they were 3-1 at the time. They proceeded to win 5 out of the next 6 to go 9-2. Now, calamity hit thereafter, and they lost 5 straight to end the season. But oddly enough, they lost 5 straight to end the season when they got healthy and they got Scott Mitchell back. So they won 5 out of the next 6 with Doug Peterson and Steve DeBerg, including a game in Dallas against the Super Bowl champions in the snow. So last thing, I think we could be brief with this before we leave it for right here and come back on Thursday to talk actual games. Are we going to learn something about Mike McDaniel? Is this important? Is this period without Tua kind of important for us to learn about Mike McDaniel, Simon?
Yeah, it's huge for him. What's he got in the bag? What can he do? Chris just made the point there. He called a terrible game against Buffalo. I thought he called an appalling game against the Bills. And I think this is now an opportunity for him to show, whilst the NFL is looking at the jobs that are being done around the league by people like Clint Kubiak and the young offensive play callers, Bobby Slowick, and all of a sudden it's like, he's now got a chance to kind of almost regain that throne as the trickster, as the play caller, as the guy who moved things on over the last 18 months, who pushed the needle. And this is a perfect chance for him to do that. And the pressure is on him. The seat is not hot, but the pressure is still on.
Chris?
Yeah, I think that this is exactly that opportunity. And my fear is that we won't really see it, though, with Skylar Thompson. We'll only see it when he gets truly backed against the wall and has to use a trigger man that has a completely different style in Tyler Huntley. And so that's what I'm looking out for.
All right. And that's it. The next time we talk to you, it'll be Seahawks, Dolphins in Seattle at 4:05. It's the second window on a Sunday. This past weekend, they had 10 games at 1 o'clock and 3 at 4 o'clock. I don't know what the hell the NFL is thinking, but they should have more than 3 games at 4 o'clock. Next week, Miami's part of that. We will talk to you again on Thursday.
Thanks for listening to 3 Yards Per Carry. You can subscribe via iTunes, on Podbean, or your usual podcast provider.
Breathing deeply while listening to ocean waves can help reduce stress. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep solving. For more health solutions, go to FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Jessica never thought she'd be affected by a brain tumor. But today, she's ready for everything life has to offer. And it's all because at Broward Health, our neuroscience experts are always ready for anything tomorrow brings, ready to lead your treatment with intensity, ready with the right care right now. From spine injuries to neurosurgeries and beyond, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. Broward Health, well into your future. Learn more at browardhealth.org/neuro.